Code red in the Capitol. The Commanders' revolution is full steam ahead, and nobody's gonna stop it. With just a few days left till the draft, exclusive info is coming in that either a killer instinct corner or a high IQ safety could be the missing piece we need. Meanwhile, that offensive giant who haunted us for years is finally calling it quits, leaving our pass rushers wide open to wreak havoc in the division. With our offense already transformed thanks to some elite pickups, Washington is just one move away from turning into a true contender. The rest of the division is shaking in their boots, and you can't miss out on what's coming next. Hit subscribe now and be part of this historic ride. Smash that like button if you believe this is finally our year. Is there a shutdown corner in Washington's future? That's what my sources are telling me. With just days until the NFL draft, the Commanders are working around the clock to beef up a pretty weak secondary. And honestly, I think it's the right move to make in this moment. The team has pick number 29, and analysts are projecting Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky as the guy. This kid is the real deal. In 2023, he pulled down 5 interceptions and led the SEC in that stat. 2 of those picks he took all the way to the house. Impressive? I'd say so, especially considering where we're hurting our current corners. Martian Lattimore and Mike St. Ristel, they're solid. But let me ask, do we really have any depth at that spot? My take, absolutely not. Sure, we brought in Super Bowl champion Jonathan Jones, but we need youth and fresh studs. Washington's secondary didn't have a single player grade above 65.0 in coverage last season. According to PFF, that's just not cutting it for a squad with Super Bowl hopes. Hairston's got the length, plus some crazy natural skills to play the football. His change of direction is smooth, and he reads other quarterbacks like he's got the playbook. But let's keep it real, he's a bit lean, so he can struggle against some of those big physical receivers. The question is, can he tough it out against the monsters waiting in the NFL? And hey, would you trade off some muscle for a true ball hawk instinct? In this league, turnovers win games. Honestly, my inside people say the head coach is all in on Hairston's route jumping ability. Let's face it, in a league that keeps getting more pass heavy, having a corner with those instincts is straight up gold. You know how many points a corner with pick skills keeps off the board in a year? That's the difference between getting to the playoffs and sitting at home. Here's what a lot of folks don't know: Hairston stands out for more than just his coverage. The dude's work ethic is next level. Coaches at Kentucky say he's the first one in and the last one out every day. Think that grind is a coincidence? No way. That's the exact culture we need to build here in D.C. About that injury in 2024, yeah, he lost some time in his final college season, and that's dropped him a bit on some draft boards. But I've got it from behind the scenes. The Commander's doctors already checked out his medicals, and they're confident he's fully good to go. Isn't that exactly what we needed to hear? Let's talk versatility. Hairston can line up outside or slide into the slot. You know how huge that is in today's game. It's flat out priceless. With receivers bouncing all over the formation, having a corner who can follow them anywhere is a major tactical edge. Remember how CD Lamb burned us last year switching spots every snap? With Hairston, we might just have an answer for that. But hold up, there's another possibility catching more and more traction in the inner circles. Malaki Starks, the safety out of Georgia, might actually be Dan Quinn's real target. And honestly, this makes a ton of sense. Doc Quinn needs a defensive quarterback leading that secondary, someone to direct traffic back there. Starks isn't just any safety, started for 3 years at Georgia, brought home a national title, and was a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award. This kid is sharp as they come. And get this, always available. Never missed a single game during his whole college career. Now, let's think strategy here. After adding Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil to shake up our offense, shouldn't we balance things out with a top-level defensive prospect? I'm telling you, Starks could be the perfect fit. His versatility is off the charts. Got the size, and athleticism to contest catches, but also enough speed to keep up with anyone going deep. Still, he does need to up his awareness and angles when things get tight. Is it worth spending our first pick on him? My take, a player who never misses. A game has huge value in this league where injuries are nonstop. What really blows me away with Starks is his team-first mentality. The guy never complained, even when they had him bouncing around every spot in the secondary at Georgia. That's crazy rare these days in college ball where everybody's out for themselves. I'm telling you, that's special. It's exactly that mindset Quinn puts above everything else. Here's something you won't hear everywhere. During the combine interviews, Starks blew away every single Commanders evaluator with his knowledge of defensive schemes. We're talking about the level of understanding you usually only see in vets who've been around the league for years. Isn't that exactly what we need on the back end? A scout I spoke with told me this. That kid is like having a coach out on the field. How many rookies can say that? Now, let me ask you, isn't that worth more than a few physical limitations that'll get ironed out with pro coaching? Let's talk about his body of work at Georgia. Starks went up against the best receivers in the SEC every single week, and he hardly ever lost those battles. The way he adapts to different types of wideouts is just wild. Big, physical guys, he handles them. Burners who think they're going to take the top off, he covers them too. That kind of versatility is exactly what you need in a division like ours, where we see every kind of receiver. Here's one more thing almost nobody's talking about. Starks already knows a lot of Quinn's defensive system. Quinn didn't coach at Georgia or anything, but his defensive philosophy lines up with tons of what Kirby Smart runs there. That means the learning curve won't be nearly as steep. Isn't that huge for a team trying to compete right away? And here's some news every fan will probably celebrate. Tyron Smith, that absolute beast who tormented us for years down in Dallas, is officially retiring. According to Ian Rapoport, he'll sign a one-day contract to retire a Cowboy after this last year with the Jets. Remember when a bunch of people wanted Washington to sign him in 2024? I was never on that train. Nothing but respect for his career. 5-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, but having a former Cowboy in Washington? That's always tricky. Now we don't ever have to worry about him protecting any rival quarterback. This move closes out an entire era. Smith was one of the most dominant tackles of his era, and even though we couldn't stand seeing him wear that Lone Star, gotta admit the greatness. Let me toss the question to you. Are you glad to see him walk away? Or would you have taken him in burgundy and gold, even if just for a year? Let's look at what Smith's retirement means for the division. For 13 seasons, this man was a nightmare for our pass rushers. How many times did our best defenders just disappear against Dallas? I'm telling you, a lot of that was all Smith. What makes his career even more unreal is how he battled through injuries. This guy played through pain that would have sidelined anybody else. His toughness and will were legendary, even to us as his hardest rivals. Do you think that kind of mindset is something you're born with, or can you develop it? I honestly think some guys are just built different. Smith's final season with the Jets was basically a clinic. Even at the tail end of his career, this dude was still playing at an elite level. A lot of young tackles only dream of playing at the level Smith hit in his last year. If that isn't greatness, what is? His legacy is also about mentoring younger tackles that are now some of the league's best. Did you know a bunch of the top current tackles call Smith their inspiration and role model? Even our own Tunsil has given Smith some major credit for influencing his game. That just shows the respect Smith commands everywhere. So what's this mean for the Cowboys? They just lost a legend, the foundation of their line for over 10 years. That left side anchor is gone. You think they're going to just plug in someone else? There's no way. Guys like Smith only come around once in a generation. For us in Washington, this is going to make things just a bit easier on our pass rushers when we face Dallas. That's a win for our defense, no question. especially after all the ways Dallas has had our number these past years. Any leg up on a division rival is a big deal. And at the end of the day, this whole retirement just reminds you how quick. Careers go in the NFL. Even the best eventually hang up the cleats. It's a call to appreciate our own stars while we have them. Don't you think we should celebrate our elite players more while they're still wearing our colors? Can you see how much our team's changing? We're at a turning point here. Maxwell, Hairston, or Malaki Starks could revamp our whole defense, while the offense already got a huge upgrade with Samuel and Tunsil. The draft is around the corner, and I need your cake. What position should Washington go after with that first pick? You're not going to get this kind of unfiltered Commanders analysis anywhere else. If you want to keep getting this level of inside info, smash that subscribe button right now. You won't just stay informed. You'll become part of this squad where we break down every move like family. Hairston or Starks? Or should we go in a totally different direction? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share this video with every Commanders fan you know. Let's keep building this community and make sure our voice gets heard. And don't forget, hail to the Redskins.